I'm in the middle of something here. And this is the light duty work. I do kind of want to get down there. We'll see what I do. So I've got a bunch of 1 to 1-ish gallons potted up here. And I've got some newly unearthed daffodils. The pink ones have only got a few. I've only got that in 2 places, so we're going to plant that first. I have got small yellow scented ones all over the place, so if those dry out to death, it's not that big a deal. We're going to mimic this. I did just snag from a small, I don't think you'd call it a grove of them. I don't know, a patch of switchgrass. It appears to be dwarf switchgrass, although the reality might just have been that perhaps it was just growing in such an undesirable situation that it couldn't get its full height. But I am 90% sure that this is a native grass, and it is switching to its burgundy tone for fall, as switchgrass does. That is the switch that gives it its name. I've potted up a bunch of the cute little flower called Columbine. Of course, the flower came first. The tragedy that the school was named after it, and then the tragedy was named after the school. So, yeah, it's connected, but not like in a meaningful way, not in a bad way. And I've started basically a couple of grow-out pots. So one of them is here. That's a black-eye Susan that I pulled off the cliff. If I can give it an ideal growing situation, it'll divide real quick. And I'm going to have to do a video on snakeroot when I pot down that snakeroot, because dang, they're aggressive little suckers. You can still see all of the amaranth, and I'm going to have to figure out how to time harvest on these, because I'm really happy with them. Look at how cute they all are, but at the same time, that's a lot. These are the smaller ones of everything. I put some of the switchgrass in right in there as well. At least what I'm 90% sure is switchgrass. And did I get to show that I put in some sunken pots of raspberries? I think I did. The strawberries took. The sunken pots are doing pretty well. This one I'm waiting for it to show itself because it had a little root node in there. I think that might be, no, that looked like it was maybe a mushroom, but yeah. And I'm letting the black medic grow up here, even though it's not a native, it's nitrogen fixing. Those are also daffodils, and I think next time I put in a pot, because up here each pot has a different type around it so far. So next time I put in a pot, I'll surround it by that. I've got a couple of really invasive lawn type plants going here. A really low growing white clover, and this is just lush and happy. This turned out to be a higher growing clover, so it's gonna get composted. And then this is pennywort I looked up, and then eventually I'll have a pot probably of the ground ivy that is my lawn, so that I can do like lawn plugs that you'd never need to mow, because that's all the taller they get. And it would be selected just based on what situation you have: deep shade and wet, dry, maybe wet, but medium sun, and then heavy sun is what I have growing. And you could mix them and just see what took. But it would be neat to do plugs of those, even though they're invasive. I think it's, if I could also get some low-growing grasses that were walk-onable, that would be nice too. Especially if they were native, to mix into that. So this raised bed hasn't gotten any further. The apples are looking really good, but I know with those apples, the longer I let them go, the better they taste. And my grow out station again. The noodle beans are still doing quite well, which is great. This is where I dug out those daffodils we were just looking at in a pot. Have my first ever of soft neck garlic in here, and I didn't recognize it. Pondering whether to, oh, here's some more tomatoes to eat, that's great. Pondering whether to go looking through here for bulbs, but I know that that'll be quite a project, because these are huge clumps going the whole way down this side, and so even just separating them out. The neat thing about the ones that were in those cups is that I had labeled them very, very well in the recent year when they popped up right there as to, because they were both kind of special types that I wanted to grab. So, I don't know. I guess we shall see what comes next. I know that this section here typically contains the earliest blooming of my daffodils. I don't know if I want to dig those up or not. They're probably partway under the walk. Got some more tomatoes in there. These asters are doing great. These purple ones are New England. These big white ones are Frost. And the one back here that's got these tiny little are Calico. The Frost and Calico are very much spreading root types. The New England stays put a little bit better in its root ball, though the root ball gets huge. It's like the entire footprint of my Saskatoon, which is going pretty dormant, if you've noticed. Just the tips. Ha, sorry, I didn't mean that to have other meanings. And, oops, I found a weed. You don't see me weed that often anymore, do you? Oh, shoot, come here. You're a bad grass. I don't want you still growing there. That's better. Okay. And that's because these wood chips have really reduced the weeding work. Like, it's been great. Not downplaying it. I'm also planning to sink pots in here now that I have all of the daffodil clumps of daffodil bulbs out. This would be a good place for shade plants that don't need grazing protection, because they're shaded in the afternoon lightly by the asparagus. All fall. It sounds weird. All fall. Hoping... Get off of me, bug. I'm hoping that a lot of these echinacea will go to seed. And some of the skirret, too, because why not? That's the skirret. So, yeah, I'm going to get to work on my next front row of potted plants. This row is going to be either 2 or 3 deep, but I'm going to start just with 1 at this time and line it with the bulbs, and eventually figure out how much space I need in between them, but at least 2 deep, maybe 3 here, and then this will be the path. You can see I've marked the path with a rock, but I could stand to put more down. So yeah, that's what's going on. Look how pretty a day it is. Beautiful. I might get sunburnt. I'll try not to. So, yep. Bye.